Yo, what's going on, guys? Still a little sick. I ended up going to the doctors. No strep, no COVID. They think I have like a viral infection, something in my throat. Not a dick, though. That was just such a stupid joke. Either way, it's guys. We were talking the reason why Kevin Durant has not been traded yet. So let's get right into it. Hopefully this will be my last Kevin Durant video for a while, unless he gets traded this week. But let's get right into it. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Why do you think Kevin Durant has not been traded? And let's get into it. So, Ben Steiner and is of Sports Illustrated is the one for this. So, according to ESPN's Brian Windhorst, he gave a update on the trade talks surrounding Kevin Durant. And Windhorst said this: "The truth is, we truly have one of a kind situation on the trade market. Kevin Durant's asking price is so high that nobody can afford to pay it. Because if you execute a trade that makes your team weaker, then the point of you even calling to acquire Kevin Durant is failed. So here we have something that's extremely valuable that nobody wants to pay at its price, because trading for him will actually be a detriment for your team because of the amount of assets you'd have to give up." So when two things usually happen in the market, in the supply and demand world, one is the price either gets lowered, or two, it comes off the market. So right now, what we have is everybody waiting for the price to get lowered as the Nets mule taking Kevin Durant off the market. As of right now, Brian Windhorst said with his ear to the ground in the NBA, he's not hearing anything changing as far as the demand phase of this process. And with that being said, is that if you look at a Miami Heat day trade for either Donovan Mitchell or Kevin Durant, Tyler Hero is just, a veteran throw-in in any potential Miami trade for Kevin Durant or Donovan Mitchell, as the Heat haven't got, nobody really wants Tyler Hero. So what I personally think, it's a great point that Brian Windhorst brings up. Supply and demand, baby. Supply and demand. That's what rules the world, okay? So, how, in a capitalistic world, how do you meet somebody's demand? Because what Brian Windhorst is saying is, you trading for Kevin Durant, we all know this, you are mortgaging your future. The amount of draft picks you will be giving up for Kevin Durant will basically extinguish any hope that the future could be right via draft picks for your team. Second, you don't have a core. Kevin Durant, if traded for, you'd have to have one superstar there. So like we know with the Heat had to give up, it seems like, Bam Adebayo, which would have resulted in Ben Simmons needing to be traded, as the Nets said they don't want any trade that did not involve Bam Adebayo. So right there, it would have been a Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons trade, and probably Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson, and basically anyone over the moon that isn't Kyle Lowry or Jimmy Butler. So basically, you would have been left with a team that looks like Victor Oladipo, Caleb Martin, Kevin Durant, Kyle Lowry, and Jimmy Butler. Is it the Miami Heat are the ones who would be able to go into free agency and find themselves young guys to take care of? But a team like the Suns, they would have had to give up. DeAndre Ayton wasn't moving the needle, so it was supposedly Ayton, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and any other young guy, and 6 to 8 picks. And at that point, is it really worth getting in the? Because the Suns aren't, in my opinion, are contending, like they're contending still with Kevin Durant, but I don't think they make it back to the finals with that team. Because your team would be Devin Booker, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, and then the whole roster would be gutted behind that. And that's the problem with the Kevin Durant trade. There's no equal value. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. What would you guys do if you were in their shoes? What would be the ideal thing to do? I think it's definitely an interesting situation. Guys, you made it to the end of the video. You should follow me on Instagram, Twitter. I follow back. if I don't know it's you, just send me a message and be like, yo, found you on NBA, and then I'll follow you. Because actually a bunch of you have been following me on Twitter and Instagram. It's the same as my YouTube channel, Ciro Seo.